So Jose Candelario Show, how's everybody doing out there? You already know how we do on the social media. I always bring you the best of the best of our community. We were Kaye Harvey. What's up, Miss Harvey?
Hey, good to be here. I'm grateful.
And for those who still see her out there in them streets, it's Miss Harvey or Miss K. Don't you dare call her K.
Can't keep a secret.
I'm going to put it out there. We need to have boundaries with some people out there. With that said, you're in our community, you're doing your thing, you're having a great time. Talk a little bit about your HBCU days, because how big was it to get out of New Haven, to gain a different perspective?
Well, I always knew I was going to leave New Haven and go to college, but I didn't go, but I'll talk about Howard. I didn't go to Howard first. I went to a small women's college, upstate New York. And I actually was going to do chemistry. And I did Olin research right here at Yale as my internship. And then I had a friend at Howard. He was like, you really should be at Howard. So I applied. After my internship, when I realized I really didn't want to be a scientist, I said, okay, let me, because, you know, see what's going on in Howard University in Washington, D.C. Applied, got accepted, got some money to attend, and boy, oh boy, was Washington, D.C. not ready for me, and I wasn't ready for D.C., but I made it happen.
A little bit of a culture shock, I'm assuming.
That campus was hot. Now, if you could imagine, like I was saying, Felicia and Debbie had already left, but they came back to do our Christmas shows with us. So Debbie, you know, came, did a couple.
This is Debbie Allen.
Debbie Allen, yes.
You got to say full names.
I'm sorry.
We're educating a whole new generation.
Sorry, yeah.
Debbie Allen
Debbie
and
Allen,
Felicia Rashad. We know her, yes.
So, you know, it was a wonderful experience for me to be able to work with them. And Howard really prepares the young people for the world. I mean, if you are talented and gifted and willing to work hard, you have to go through you have to earn them badges. You know, you're going to come out with some bumps and bruises, but you will heal. And they will let you know that, because our professors genuinely care about the students. And they tell you, you know, you can waste your time and your money if you want to, because we got ours. Now, you know, your job is to get yours. We're here for you. And it was a beautiful, beautiful experience, just being on that campus with all of the gifted folks, even in the cafeterias and the what do you the dorms, the folks that cleaned, just funny because we'd play spades all night, and you know they'd come in and clean and just yell and scream at us, but we had fun. Now I didn't pledge while I was there. I did get approached, but I didn't pledge, and that was one thing. I think now that I really see the benefit of belonging to a sorority, the networking and
so
all
if there's
that.
oh my goodness, the one thing you would have, the one thing you would have done differently.
I think I would have pledged.
You would have pledged.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're not going to hold it against you. You know, a lot of the problems that children have nowadays is, you know, the financial burden of an HBCU or, you know, going away to college. You know, how important is it to have some kind of like fiscal understanding of what it takes before you get there? I mean, you had a probably solid background with your parents, but what should kids know going into this venture?
That they are responsible and need to be held accountable for their actions, that everything that they do reflects back on them, their parents and their community. Young people need to know that whatever you have in your mind, you can accomplish, you can achieve. And don't be hesitant to ask for help, to ask for the assistance, because there are people who will support you, but you have to ask. And what scares me is that the socialization that's not happening now, because everyone is on their cell phones. There's not that, the art of conversation has dwindled or diminished. And so you don't have a lot of the road maps and the vehicles, because the young people are not as motivated and willing to step out and take a chance, a risk. And that is absolutely necessary, especially going to a HBCU. It can be brutal. It can absolutely be brutal, because you're going to come to a school where you have children whose parents were the president of the United States. You know what I mean?
Or president of a company.
Yes, yes. And they're on campus freshman year driving their Mercedes, and they have all the high-end clothing. But if you're grounded and know your purpose and know why you're there, that shouldn't matter to you. Don't let that make you feel unworthy or worthless. They just happen to be born into
better circumstances.
Better circumstances.
That's it.
So here, you take what you have, what your parents have given you, or your grandparents have given you, your aunties, your uncles, whoever, your community people. You take whatever you can muster up the courage, and go on that campus and be proud. Walk with confidence, walk with your head up, know who you are, know that you're there for a purpose. And when you leave there, you are going to be accountable for your education back, whether it's in your community, whether it's with your family, whether it's, at your entrepreneurial prowess, whatever it is that you want to do, or your employment. I'd love for young people to be able to start their own businesses. I really believe.
Not enough in our community.
Okay.
You've seen it in the nonprofit world that when you go and you need money, there's no big black business to really go to. You have to rely on everyone else.
Right.
I want to touch a little bit. I want to go back to, because it is a toxic trait, and it's a traumatic trait. It's something that we have to acknowledge. The idea that we need to do things on our own, that we should not be asking other people for a handout, as I heard some people call it. Heard a friend say, "Oh, it's a handout," and I'm like, help, assistance, someone to pay for your college is not a handout. I mean, you look at me like,
yeah.
It befuddles. You look befuddled, like, who would think that way?
Yeah, I know, and you're right. People do think that way, and they speak that way. But at the end of the day, no man is an island, and we all need to pull together. If we know that there's a child that's going, if we can muster up $100 to give to that child to help with their books, then that's what we need to do. And the child needs to be able to receive that and be grateful for that. We need to pull together, all of us, and help the families. I know a couple of our young people who have passed on, and their children are off to college this year. And we need to make sure that they have the type of funding and support that they need to be able to make it through this first hump. That first semester, first and second semester, It's
That
brutal.
will
You
make
have
or
to,
break you.
yeah, you have to adjust to being away from home in an unfamiliar territory, environment, different people. So, we have to make sure that the young people know that there are folks in the community that have their back and that's not going to let them, that there's a safety net. That there's a safety net.
And not to be afraid to ask for help.
Help.
Oh my God. If I would have known that, if I would have just known that, I think I would have been so far along in my life. But having the idea of the amount of shame to ask for assistance, that's been perpetuated in our communities, in our ideology. Oh, they'll be relying on the government. You know what? Get that student loan. Go after those grants.
However you need to get it. Yeah.
However you need to get it, get it.
Yeah.
So the HBCU days, how did they end for you? Once you got there and you quailed a little bit of the, because Howard's a party school. I don't know. I don't want to put throw nobody under the bus, but Howard is a party school.
And I lived right there on R and 16th Street. The Fox Trap was right across the street from our dorm. But I made it through. Because I had transferred, I did have to do an extra year, but I did get my bachelor's. And my class was the last class to receive a bachelor's of fine arts. So that class of 79. But they just reinstated
Yes, they did.
the Bachelor's of Fine Arts.
Yep.
And I was so happy because I was disappointed to know that our class was the last class to receive the BFA, and for maybe 20 some odd years.
20, they're going on to 24, 25, yeah.
Yes.
But let me tell you, the new Chadwick Boseman
Yes.
Theater Center.
Yes. Our Fine Arts building.
The Fine Arts building has been redone. There's a
Yes.
beautiful museum now at the bottom floor you can walk through and enjoy.
I was there last year.
Okay, so you've seen
Yes.
campus come a long way.
Oh my goodness. It has dorms. It actually has real dorms now. Even though there may not be enough.
Never.
But at least, we had to live off-campus housing. Like people opened up their house in Northwest DC. I lived with Miss Allen, who was a lady that took in young ladies, and we paid her to stay there. Well, actually, she got paid from the school, like the housing.
Yeah.
Because there was not enough housing on campus, and that was off-campus housing, and it was fine. We had curfew. She made sure that we were in by 11 on the weekends. Yeah, and I try to respect that because she was an older woman, and she opened up her home to us. So I tried to be very respectful, and my mom met her, and so her and my mom were in communication too, and so she was snitching.
So you wasn't getting away with nothing.
Not a thing, not a thing. I did what I had to do to have fun though on campus. I did. I went to the parties. I did.
I'm sure you did. Sure you did. Paid your spades and hung out.
Yes.
Because you went from being a scientist then to an artiste.
To an artiste, yes. And you know what? Gil Scott-Heron used to perform, right? Oh, we had it good. I can't remember. Right there on Georgia Avenue, there was a little nightclub where he used to perform, and we used to be able to go there.
Oh,
yeah,
catching history in the making, and didn't even know at the time.
Didn't even know. Didn't even know.
Don't even know how good you got it.
Yeah. But I knew his music. I knew because I loved music. Music was my thing.
But we all know him for his poetry.
Yes.
And we all know for the the television. The revolution will not be televised. That's what we know. Right. For those who are not familiar with Gil Scott, I got to be mindful that not
That's true.
everyone knows as much
This is true.
about our history as some of us do. With that said, though, the importance of going to a university and getting any kind of college experience in regards to networking, the people that you meet on campus and the relationships that you establish,
Lifetime.
share some of that.
Lifetime. I am still friends to this day, 50 some odd years, with the people that I have met on campus to this
Wow.
day. To this day. Our children, their children, you know, it's a beautiful thing. And I say, the people that you meet on campus will be your lifetime friends. Not all of them, but definitely I have 3 sisters that all of our children are TT and, you know.
And this coming from an only child.
Yes.
So you found family?
Well, I'm not an only child.
I mean,
I was
between
the
your
only
parents.
between my parents,
Parents,
yes. But there were 7 of us all together, but they were older.
Oh, okay.
Okay, they were much
She's still
older.
the
Yeah, I was the youngest out of 7.
That's hard. Like I said, the only child, because she still acts like it. Let's talk a little bit about why you came back to New Haven, because you served our community for a very long time. You've done anything that's and everything imaginable for the youth of New Haven over your time and over the years. And we can trace it all back to the early 90s, because for many who don't know, but Ms. Harvey was one of my first employers for a summer camp back in 1989, where I was transitioning out of Clemente into high school and community. And she put money in my pocket. But you've done so much for everyone else that you went away, you went south for a little bit?
I did. Okay, so I came back, did the
So you went to
program.
Howard, you came back.
Right. And got married. My husband died in 2014.
Okay.
And so I left New Haven and went to Charlotte. And then I went to Georgia because my son had my first grandbaby, and my only grandbaby, so I wanted to be there. And I came back in 20 because my sister got diagnosed with liver cancer. And I came with my little red suitcase, not knowing that I was going to be here 5 years later, but it's God's will and His plan, and I'm being obedient with that. But my sister did pass in 20, 8 months after her diagnosis, because she didn't want to do chemo. That her choice, and it was hard because we shared the king-size bed together while she was, going through the diagnoses, the different doctor's appointments. That was a difficult time that year, 20. And then COVID, because we couldn't have a funeral because of COVID. And so I stayed. I thought I was going to go back to Georgia, but a couple of reasons I'm still here. My auntie, who's 102 years old, my mom's last sibling. So I'm here because of that. And I truly believe that when I came back and I saw my role at Church Street South was twofold. It was the children and it was the housing. And so
And Church Street South is no longer there. I mean,
which is devastating. Every time I ride by there and see the open, but there's plans. It will never be Church Street South again, but there are plans. And so I'm doing housing again, and I'm trying to help people, improve their credit, because the barriers that I'm seeing now with a lot of the families, they've had evictions, hard to get an apartment. Their credit scores are not 720, not even 600, hard to get an apartment. And so, working with a group, God has just been able to be in my life and bring all of the resources.
I want to talk a little bit about reinvention. Taking a different, I would say, path, right? Journey. In your journey, you got plenty of paths, but now you're really working for yourself after 70 years, because nonprofit work takes a lot out of you, but there's no great 401ks, there's nothing, retirement plans, no nothing.
None of that.
So how do you feel guilty now working for yourself as a real estate agent, that you're doing something for yourself? Do you feel selfish? I mean, I'm just asking because
No, I have some wonderful people in my life that are saying it's time for you to do you. You've done for everybody else. You need to take the time. And it's hard. I'm going to tell you, it is hard because I'm always thinking about this person, and people call me. Well, are you able to do, and so I have gotten to the point now where I'm saying, I'm moving back from the rentals and looking at sales, really looking at sales, high-end luxury sales, because I know I can do that. So I've changed my whole focus, and I'm doing me. I'm doing Miss Kaye. Yes, I'm doing Miss Kaye.
Have you given yourself permission to be Miss Kaye?
I have. I've been blessed with a wonderful place to live. After my sister died, I stayed with my niece for a couple of years. And because I had to realize that I'm here for a minute, so I said, you know what, I need a life too. So I have a wonderful, beautiful place. I don't own it, but I'm going back and forth with where I want to purchase. So yeah, I have given myself permission to do me.
Is one of those big steps, right, in our lives, especially when you're always reevaluating, right? Why? Have you changed your why you do things, or do you feel like it's been consistent throughout?
I think it's consistent. Even my why, even with me taking on me and doing me now, my why is still big enough to make an impact on life. What's the legacy? She gave it her best. She gave it her all, and she was real about it.
Let me tell you, you say that you want to sell high-end luxury penthouses or high-end homes, but you carry yourself, and I've always known you to carry yourself in a very regal sense. And now that we've had a discussion and you told me about how even your grandfather was an entrepreneur and he owned businesses and acres of land in the South in the early 1900s, where it was literally unheard of. Do you feel like that's part of why you carry yourself? You saw your parent, your mother, and now you?
Absolutely. And it comes from both sides, because my father's people were interpreters, language interpreters in Florida. They were highly, highly educated folks on my dad's side. And so the regalness, yes, I know that the royal blood flows through my veins. Absolutely, absolutely. So on both sides. you know. Absolutely.
And for young people, this is where people say, "Oh, you're trying to be white, and you're trying to be," and it's like, no, we some of us know our history, and know that we need to conduct ourselves in a certain manner to not disrespect our ancestors.
So important. And when I say regal royal, I'm talking about the African royalty blood that flows through my veins. Um, Absolutely. And I just need you to understand 1901 is the date that I have the deed on that land. So you think about that. 1901. That's how many years ago? 100 and what? 23 years ago that an African American man purchased land
In the Americas,
in the Americas. And so, yeah,
in the South.
in the South,
Let's,
North Carolina,
let's,
North Carolina, Granville County.
let's be very
Absolutely.
specific,
Absolutely,
because
absolutely.
we have a lot of youth now that don't believe in themselves and don't believe that they can make it.
I know.
But there's examples everywhere of people who have made it and continue to make it. This ideology that's been sold to us by our great government and our institutions that we have to pick ourselves up by our bootstraps, but we have it within our own communities. We have these examples, and it's not the first time. It's not the first time we're doing any of this.
No. Oh, absolutely. I mean, we are the African American influence on the world. On the world. I mean, we influence language, clothing styles, diet, the food that we eat. I mean, it goes, the music, the dance, the movement, the art. I mean, it all, it's so natural for us. And no, if anything, folks want to be like us. They just don't want the melanin. But they really appreciate in their own way who we are. They would never say it. They would never show it. But they know from which the greatness comes. And as long as we know where the greatness lies within us, young people, you have it. You have it within you. Just know it. Just believe it. Taste it, and then just grab it and hold on to it, because it's real.
One misnomer that we have is there's not enough for everybody. We come from environments and ecological environments where we're almost crabs in a barrel. We're trying to push each other down to elevate ourselves, not realizing that there's more than enough money, there's more than enough venture capitalism, capital in the same field for everybody. That you can all look. How many people are of the Caucasian persuasion, and they are all doctors? They're all lawyers. They're all firemen, policemen. You don't see them beating each other up to get to the positions. Are we at a time in our society where there are equal opportunity for anyone who wants it, so we don't have to feel like are competing against ourselves versus just competing in general?
When it comes to competition, again, you have to know who you are and what you have, and that no matter what the other person is doing, as long as you have the wherewithal between the two ears, what you have in here again, as my dad says, no one can take it from you. Okay? So, uh, com- competition, the only one you should be competing against is yourself. Making sure that, when you wake up with a smile. When you wake up, you're grateful. And then with that, with the gratitude and knowing who you are, being able to go out there and face the world. Confidence is something that comes from words that are being instilled in you, from either your parents, your grandparents, your aunties, your uncles, your community people. But when you hear the words over and over and over again, and you see the actions that the people who are speaking these words, they're not only speaking them, but they're walking the walk and talking the talk. And when young people see that and they now can believe it, they can achieve it. Those are not just pipeline words, but you can achieve it. If you're told over and over and over again that you're the greatest, you're the best, you can do anything you set your mind to, when you hear those words over and over and over again, it doesn't matter what the other person is doing. The field that I am in now, real estate, is so competitive. I don't care. Do you think that I'm going to stop doing my little work that I have to do, my preparation? I have to prepare myself.
Yeah.
I have to prepare myself. So I do whatever I have to do. If I have to study all night, if I have to make phone calls, 100, 300, whatever it's going to take, I'm not looking and worrying about what that person over there is doing. Because I'm focused on what God has planted in my heart. And so now all I can do is go out there and do it, give it my best effort.
Could talk a little bit about health. You still doing yoga?
Yes.
I mean, there was no yoga back in the 70s. There was like jazzercise or what, dancing to the oldies with Mr. Simmons. But how?
Oh, and this is my first run with yoga.
Oh, okay.
All these years, I've always danced, and I decided to do yoga, and I'm loving it. Oh my God, the breathing, the relaxation. It's tough though. Those movements, but I mean, it's
And you're
tough.
a dancer.
And I'm a dancer.
And you
tough.
stretched. I mean, stretching routine is like the essential.
It's a challenge for me because of the age too. And remember, I hadn't been dancing for a minute, so but I go twice a week, and loving every single minute of it. Health is something that we cannot take for granted. We must eat the proper foods. We must drink plenty of water and fluids. What the plants that God put on this earth, that's all we need. We really don't need all. When you listen to the side effects of all the medications, and you forget, what is it that I had? Because by the time they finish running down the second head that you're going to grow from taking that drug, okay? No. The plants, the herbs, the food that we consume are our medicine. That's why God put it here. And it just makes me so angry to see what is happening to the farmers. It became such a big industry.
Yeah, you can't no longer save seed. You can't,
What is that? Okay, what is that?
I just had a conversation about corn that they used to grow in the gardens here in the inner city, tasting better than what you can ever find anywhere. Outside, anywhere. It doesn't taste the same. Before we go, since you mentioned dancing, I have been going to Alvin Ailey now for 2 or 3 years in a row. Because they've stepped out of Harlem. and they
Okay.
do a national tour.
Okay.
What does that mean it represents for dancing and being an African American in dancing and dancing culture for it to now be a traveling company that now more eyes can get on?
Absolutely important because when little girls and little boys see ballerinas, and they always saw the European figure, and we were always told as African Americans, because our butts were so big, that you can't do ballet, and no, not true.
And certain movements were unattainable.
We surpass um, in everything, in anything that we do, we, we surpass, and there is no stopping us. And so it's wonderful to see, Alvin Ailey, Dance Theater of Harlem, being on the road so that the little African American, little Latino girls and little boys who want to do drumming and be part of the whole movement of dance, when they can see on stage, oh my goodness, she looks like me. I can do this.
And when we talking about stages, we talking about like the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. We're talking about
Yes.
some of the most beautiful
Yes.
establishments in the country now, housing these beautiful black bodies. Because
Yeah.
major of the company is black. They do have a Caucasian or two and an Asian because they're inclusive. But to see these bodies in motion and doing things that I thought were physically unattainable for us, because like you said, we see the ballerinas and the dancers and the nutcrackers growing up, but to see us on stage and it's, for me, it was very moving, and it's something that I now incorporate in my lifestyle to be like, oh yeah, Alvin Ailey,
And Arthur Mitchell. Don't
Arthur Mitchell. Yeah,
Arthur
okay.
Mitchell and Alvin Ailey, they had vision. They said, as African American dancers, we're going to start schools for African American boys and girls. And they did. They did. They Philadelphia and Harlem, and the rest is history.
And the way, I'll be honest with you, I'm amazed how some of these dances are done exactly how they were first created. Is it through documentation, through video, or memorization?
All of that, all of it. They're how is it that I want to say this? The ballets are all mocked. You know what I mean? They are defined. So it's the same. So you learn it. It's almost like rote. There are certain steps and movements that go to certain music. So you learn it by repetition, by doing it over and over and over again in practice. It's like with anything else. It's practice. You learn the basics, and then those basics become movements that are put together, and then before you know it, you have an entire dance. You have an entire dance.
I could tell by the sound of your voice you miss it just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But you know what? I'm excited to say that I get to work with a local artist who is no longer, she's alive, but not in New Haven. And she's doing work leaving her legacy through Bowen Peters.
Okay.
And so I'm excited to be a part of that. And I look forward to what's coming in the future.
Still staying active.
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you for not letting age define you at all. We won't give away her age. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. This has been the Jose Candelario Show. This has been Kaye Harvey. And of course, you already know how we do on these social media. So thank you guys for listening. Please like and subscribe and drop a comment if you know who Miss Kaye Harvey is and what she's done for you down here at the bottom of the comment section. And thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Till next time, guys, be classy.